how you find yourself.
In the news, President Buhari orders service chiefs to take out bandits, kidnappers, and their sponsors. Recruit 50 million youths into Nigerian army to face Boko Haram bandits, Tinubu. Across Africa, Bokeh bombing absential trial begins for 3 suspected pilots in attack. In business, NSE week opens with 145 billion naira growth on MTN gain. In sport, AFCON 2022, Iwobi returns to Super Eagles ahead of Lesotho match. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Adesu Alsui, and this is TOS News 360. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the nation's security chiefs to flush out bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of their activities, which has posed a serious security challenge in the north-central region. National Security Advisor Babangana Monguno, who briefed State House correspondents after a meeting with the president, said that President Buhari had warned that the reign of terror unleashed on parts of the country by bandits and kidnappers is no longer acceptable. Monguno added that the president also insisted that all decisions approved at the National Security Council meeting in February remain enforced. The decisions include a ban on mining activities in Zamfara and the no-fly order imposed on the state. The meeting with the service chiefs comes ahead of the president's medical trip to London, with his expected return to the country in the second week of April. The federal government has declared Friday the 2nd and Monday 5th of April 2021 as public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government in a statement signed by the press director of the ministry, Mohammed Manga. Aregbesola urged Christians to emulate the attributes of forbearance, forgiveness, kindness, humility, love, peace, and patience, which were demonstrated by Jesus Christ. The minister also urged them to use the occasion to pray for the peace, unity, and progress of the country. He assured that no stone will be left unturned as the federal government deals with kidnapping, armed banditry, and other crimes and criminality, which it says is perpetrated by enemies of Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari has stated that Nigerians are better and stronger together as a nation, despite the challenges the country is currently going through. President Buhari disclosed this at the 12th colloquium of the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, held in Kano State. The president, who chaired the occasion, stated that despite occasional inter-ethnic tensions in our national history, it seems to me that we have all agreed on one point, that notwithstanding our diversity or ethnicity, culture, language, and religion, Nigerians are better together, even stronger together. We must count our blessings in Nigeria and see in them the crucial factors of peace and unity, he added. Former Lagos State Governor and national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, has called on the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government to commence the immediate recruitment of 50 million young Nigerians into the Nigerian army to tackle the Boko Haram bandits and other criminal elements ravaging the country. Tinubu on Monday argued that such action would overwhelm the criminal elements terrorizing the country across multiple flanks. He stated that we are under-policed and we are competing with armed robbers and bandits to recruit from the youth who are unemployed. He added that the government should create opportunities in agriculture to stem the unemployment rate as well. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, on Monday, the 29th of March, announced that 48 new confirmed COVID-19 cases were registered on Monday, representing the lowest figure of daily infections in over 5 months. This is according to information obtained from the daily status report of the NCDC published on its website. The report also noted that the number of active cases in Nigeria has dropped to its lowest in over 3 months, as it currently stands at 10,1 126, indicating a rapid flattening of the pandemic curve. The last time Nigeria recorded a record low number of COVID-19 cases was on the 24th of October 2020, when it recorded 40 confirmed cases and no mortality. This is your Digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories after the break. The founder and lead pastor of the Love World Incorporated, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, has queried the faith of Nigerian Christians who received the AstraZeneca vaccine against coronavirus. Oyakhilome revealed that Christians should believe in the word of God more than the vaccine, adding that they are healers. He also berated the Nigerian government for asking pastors to convince their members to take the COVID-19 vaccine. This was contained in a viral video he released on Monday. The People Democratic Party, PDP, has accused the All Progressive Congress, APC, of embezzling 10.1 trillion naira from the National Treasury despite its acclaimed shortage of funds to finance the 2021 budget. In a signed statement by the party's spokesperson, Kola Ologbondiyan, the party also accused the President Buhari-led administration of encouraging corruption despite the APC government attributing the cause of the nation's rising debt profile to a fall in oil prices, among other reasons. The party also accused the government of allegedly diverting 9.6 trillion naira and another 500 billion naira belonging to the Treasury single account, TSA. Mr. Ologbondiyan, however, added that the volume of corruption cases filed against officials of the current administration was a clear indication that Nigeria had been seized by ferocious economic brigands in very high places. The Minister for Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallen, has called on female executives to emulate the Executive Director of Nexim Bank in empowering more women. She made this call in an event organized by Nigerian Export-Import Bank Nexim, titled Unlocking Export Market Opportunities for Women and Youth. At the event, which took place in Abuja on the 30th of March, the minister, however, stressed on the importance of women showing support for each other, urging that it has a multiplying effect.
I want to especially call on all chief executives, female chief executives in our financial institutions, to see what our sister, the executive director, Nexim Bank, Stella Okotete, is doing. I know you are doing your best in your various financial institutions, but it is time for women to rise up to the occasion. Poverty is the greatest disease that is inflicting women, and when you empower a woman, you are empowering the family, the society, and the country at large. Whatever a woman gets has a multiplier effect, and it spreads to the.
And to stories from across Africa, on Monday in Paris, one of two Belarusian mercenaries along with two Ivorian co-pilots went on trial for murder. The three men are accused of carrying out the raid on the French peacekeeping forces in Bouaké Camp, Ivory Coast, on November 6, 2004, which killed 9 soldiers. An American aid worker injured 40 others and sparked furious reprisals by the French, causing a deep rift in Franco-Ivorian relations. All three were among crew members caught on camera after landing at an airport near the capital, Yamoussoukro, following the bombing raid. Officials close to Gbagbo, who was toppled by French-backed rebel forces in 2011, claimed that the pilot mistook the French camp for rebel positions. But some suspect it was a deliberate hit aimed at clearing a path for Gbagbo's forces to storm rebel-held territory, or even that France itself masterminded the attack on its forces to have a pretext to try to chase Gbagbo from power. None of the suspects were present in court and their whereabouts are unknown. If convicted, they face a maximum term of life imprisonment, but as their whereabouts are unknown, it is unlikely they will serve jail time in France. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. You're still watching TOS News 360. More stories from across Africa after the break. Welcome back. South African President and President of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, has told members of his party that they must resign within 30 days of being charged with corruption or face suspension. Ramaphosa made this known while addressing an executive meeting of the African National Congress.
The NEC reaffirmed the resolutions of the 54th National Conference on ANC credibility and integrity, as well as decisions of the NEC meetings. All members who have been charged with corruption or other serious crimes must step aside within 30 days, failing which they should be suspended in terms of Rule 2570 of the ANC Constitution. The meeting emphasized that the 30-day period will be used to enable the implementation of the decision in line with the guidelines. And this is not for the review of the...
Ramaphosa has been at odds with the ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule, who's denied corruption charges against him and has refused to step aside. The president pledged to clamp down on corruption in the ANC after becoming party leader in 2017. Executive Director of the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Henrietta Fore, in a press statement, has said children are the major recipients of the brunt of the recent attacks in Palma, Mozambique, and other devastating previous attacks. Fore disclosed that the full impact of the deadly militant attack in Palma, northern Mozambique, is not known, but fears it will be brutal on children. She further revealed that Palma was already hosting well over 35,000 people forcibly displaced from other areas of the province due to previous attacks. Half of them are children. She added that until small amounts of food and other supplies started coming in recently, much of the district beyond the provincial capital had been virtually inaccessible to humanitarian workers struggling to provide assistance. Also, the 3 remaining functional health facilities are no longer operational and the main hospital has been destroyed, she said. Fore promised UNICEF will continue working with partners to meet children's urgent needs and called on all parties to do everything in their power to keep children out of harm's way, the statement said. To COVID-19 developments in Kenya, court tribunals and all other registries in the 5 Kenya counties that President Uhuru Kenyatta declared COVID-19 infested have been closed by Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, saying all operations will remain suspended until further notice. However, she noted that matters requiring a hearing and filing during the period will be treated virtually. Presiding judges and heads of stations and divisions, in consultation with the bar bench and court users committees, shall issue guidelines to address any unique issues arising in their jurisdiction, she said. The other 42 countries or counties will adhere to the COVID-19 safety protocols that were issued in March last year by the retired Chief Justice and the National Council of Justice Administration. With regard to President Kenyatta's directive for public and government offices to allow employees to work from home, Justice Mwilu said each court station, tribunal, directorate, and implementing unit in the zoned area will develop and submit a weekly duty roster to the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. The duty roster will adhere to a requirement for only 30% of staff to be in an office at any given time, she added. We go to the global scenes now, where on Tuesday, Chinese state media reported that the county's top decision-making body, the NPC Standing Committee, has finalized a sweeping overhaul of Hong Kong's electoral system, drastically curbing democratic representation in the city as authorities seek to ensure patriots rule the global financial hub. This amends the annexes of Hong Kong's mini-constitution, the Basic Law. The number of directly elected seats in the parliament has been cut almost by half, and prospective MPs will first be vetted by a pro-Beijing committee to ensure their loyalty to the mainland. The changes will see the number of directly elected representatives fall and the number of Beijing-approved officials rises in an expanded legislature. Opposition figures say the changes are designed to keep anyone who is not aligned with Beijing's role out of parliament and also to ensure only patriotic figures can run for positions of power. But Hong Kong's leader, Carrie Lam, said there is not a one-size-fits-all way of doing democracy, adding the vetting committee will not screen people out based on their political views, but rather weed out any non-patriots, Lam said, as long as the candidates can show allegiance to Hong Kong, uphold the basic law and pass national security checks, they will be permitted to run for election. The first vote under the changes will elect members to Hong Kong's Legislative Council to be held in December. The World Health Organization, WHO, and 23 world leaders came up with the idea to create an international treaty which will help the world tackle unforeseen health emergencies such as the coronavirus pandemic now affecting the world. The aim of the international treaty will be to ensure that vaccines, medicines, and diagnostics for pandemics are universal and accessible. The idea was proposed in November 2020 by Charles Michel, the chairman of European Union leaders at a summit. On Tuesday, it was formally supported by the World Health Organization and leaders of Spain, Germany, France, Kenya, Britain, Costa Rica, Romania, the Netherlands, Portugal, Greece, Korea, Chile, Rwanda, Albania, South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, France, Ukraine, Senegal, Fiji, Norway, Serbia, Indonesia, and Tunisia. According to a statement released by the world leaders, the main objective of such a treaty would be to strengthen the world's resilience, as there will be other pandemics and other major health emergencies with no single government or agency can tackle alone. The treaty will also help in creating better alert systems, data sharing, research production, and distribution of vaccines, medicines, and diagnostics. The treaty would also state that the health of humans, animals, and the planet at large are all important, connected, and should lead to shared responsibility, transparency, and global cooperation. We believe that nations should work together towards a new international treaty for pandemic preparedness and response, the world leaders said. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories from across the globe after the break. Welcome back. President Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil made 6 changes in his cabinet on Monday as pressure mounts on him over his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is the biggest cabinet change since the president came to power 2 years ago. The foreign and defense ministers have been replaced in the reshuffling. Ernesto Araújo, the president's loyal foreign minister, stepped down after he was gravely criticized by lawmakers for damaging Brazil's image with other countries and its national bodies. According to the lawmakers, Araújo's poor handling of relations with China, India, and the U.S. led to Brazil not having sufficient quantities of COVID-19 vaccines. According to reports, Brazil's health service is collapsing as the country is battling a deadly second wave. There has been more than 12 million confirmed cases and over 300,000 COVID-19 deaths in Brazil. Health Minister Marcelo Queiroga has announced that he was working to get an earlier delivery of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine supplies from the United States. The rollout of vaccination program across the vast country has been a struggle in Brazil. So far, it has been using the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine and China's CoronaVac, both of which require 2 jabs. The country has also ordered for the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine and the Russian-made Sputnik V jab. And in business, the Nigerian Stock Exchange market said it resumed a new trading week, trading on Monday with an impressive growth of 145 billion naira due to buying interest in MTN Nigeria and 27 other stocks. According to NSE, the market capitalization will open the week at 20.518 trillion naira, inched higher by 145 billion naira, equivalent to 0.71%, to close as 20.63 trillion naira. The all-share rose by 277.17 points, or 0.71%, to close at 39,493.37% from 39,216.20, achieved on Friday. The upturn was impacted by gains recorded in medium and large capitalized stocks, amongst which are MTN Nigeria, Guaranty Trust Bank, Guinness Nigeria, Custodian Investment, and EcoBank Transnational Incorporated. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has hinted on its plans to revise its 2021 outlook for Nigeria's economy upwards from 1.5% in the next round of its projection by April as a result of recent positive developments in the country's economy. The IMF has earlier projected that Nigeria's economy would experience growth by 1.5% in 2021, a prediction that was variously disputed by economy analysts over a faster than expected economic growth in the IMF in a recent report titled Nigeria Economic Outlook and Priorities, hinged the proposed reversal on the recent fourth quarter 2020 data, which is said has shown growth in some sectors, especially the ICT and agriculture sectors boosted by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the rise in the Purchasing Managers Index PMI reports for the quarter, amongst others. And now to the shores of Ghana, where the country's president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has a very important plank of new strategic partnership between Africa, Spain, and Europe, will be the strong support for the African Continental Free Trade Area, which began trade in January 1st, 2021. Speaking at the Focus Africa 2023 conference held in Madrid, in Spain, on Monday, March 29, 2021, President Akufo-Addo indicated that the AFCFTA will link all the 54 markets of Africa, covering 1.2 billion people, into a single market. President Akufo-Addo further stressed that the market opportunities for exporters from Spain and Europe could be truly amazing. According to a report by trade experts, global banks may lose more than $6 billion from the downfall of Achigo's capital, sources revealed, noting that regulators and investors fear the episode would reverberate more widely. Japan's Nomura and Credit Suisse of Switzerland warned of major losses from lending to Achigo's for equity derivatives trading, triggering a worldwide sell-off in banking stocks. Morgan Stanley shares fell by 2.6% and Goldman Sachs Group dropped by 1.7%. Nomura shares closed down 16.3%, a record one-day drop, while Credit Suisse shares tumbled by 14%, their biggest fall in a year. Deutsche Bank dropped by 5% and UBS was off 3.8%. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. Up next is entertainment news. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Afrobeat icon, Seun Kuti, has signed a management contract with Nitin Factory Management, the artist management division of the venue and concert company Nitin Factory Entertainment. According to the company manager, Aaron Johnson, Seun Kuti, like his father Fela, is more than just a musician or composer. He's an artist who speaks truth to power and won't compromise his values or beliefs. Being a part of Seun's team is an honor, and I'm excited for all projects he has in the works. From albums with Egypt 80 to collaboration with other artists, Seun has a lot to show the world, he added. And in sports, Super Eagles winger Alex Iwobi has been cleared by the Confederation of African Football (CAF) to play against Lesotho. This was disclosed on the official Twitter page of the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) on Tuesday, a few hours before Super Eagles will be playing against Lesotho in the African Cup of Nations qualifier at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos today. Players of Sunshine Stars of Akure staged a protest on Tuesday morning over non-payment on 3-month salaries and other allowances. The players said they have not been paid since commencement of the 2020-2021 NPFL season. Meanwhile, fans have condemned the poor morale as one of the reasons the team have not won any of the 11 matches played this season. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS Television Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Adesuwa Osuyi. Good evening.